All right. Now, I'm going to repeat myself a lot during this segment because anytime you talk about any political content creator, a lot of people have very strong opinions about it, and that's just kind of how it is. So I'm going to do my best here, and I need all of you guys to participate and do your best as well. I'd like to try and avoid pancake waffling today if possible. So, Mutahar made this video. He captioned this Twitter post, uploaded a new video regarding a serious fraud of an activist known as Keffals. Over an hour of deconstructing her various lies and examining her terrible lies will prove to you why she is a danger to people that they represent and those surrounding them. Okay, now, let's talk about a couple things. I'm only interested right now in talking about the thumbnail. Okay? I'm only interested in talking about the thumbnail. Maybe we can watch some of the video. To be honest, the video itself, I don't care about. It's not relevant. It's not important. I only care about the thumbnail. For anyone who doesn't know, Keffals is a trans woman. And this is a very gross portrayal of someone who is a trans woman. This is like hitting all of the common stereotypes, like trying to make them as quote unquote gross looking as possible, or as manly as possible, whatever. And you could even see in the replies to this post, there are people that are saying like, don't care, I'm still not gonna use his, referencing Keffals, real name or something like that, right? A bunch of people in the replies just being actively, openly transphobic. A bunch of people actively just misgendering, which is crazy, by the way, because like, you have to try hard to misgender Keffals. Like, you can have whatever opinion. She's a controversial person, okay? She says what she wants, and she means what she says. And I disagree with some of her actions, and I disagree with some of the things that she's done. And I think in general, my perspective, and this is not going to be the perspective of everyone online, and that's fine. My perspective is, I don't like to spend my time going after other people that are on the left, right? And that's just because I think my time is better spent making fun of people on the right. You guys can disagree, and I'm not saying that no one should ever do this, and I'm not saying that I think it's bad to do this. I'm saying I don't like to spend my time fighting with people who are saying that they're on the left. I think it's much more effective for me to make fun of people on the right instead of, because every minute I'm spending making fun of somebody else on the left, I could be making fun of someone on the right. Right? It's just my perspective, okay? And I do wish Keffals had the same opinion. I mean, I wish all leftists had the same opinion. I'm not saying that she is a leftist or a liberal or whatever. I don't fucking care or know. It literally doesn't matter to me at all. Does she spend her time making YouTube videos promoting right-wing ideas? No? Okay, great. I'm not spending my time going after this person. That seems stupid. That seems really dumb. For me, anyways. Leftist infighting isn't completely wrong, but there are better ways to do it. Well, in my opinion, I think, obviously this isn't applicable to everyone, but I think in my opinion, if someone is saying that they're on the left, it would benefit us more to communicate or attempt to communicate nicely and say like, hey, this behavior, we don't like this behavior because we think it's problematic in this way and blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure, great. I just don't think it's worth our time, and I think there are more important issues worth talking about. My opinion. Okay? My opinion. She's a grifter. I don't think she's a grifter. I think she's too opinionated to be a grifter. I think she says exactly what she means. There are people who give me grifter vibes. Keffals is not one of them. So if you dislike what she says, then you can just say, like, I don't like what she says. But I don't think she's a grifter. Moths instead of mother instead of Mutahar. Oh, thank you, Alafoli. But moving on. Let's talk about a couple things. Okay? Then why did she turn to attack Hassan for clout? I don't think she did it for clout. I think she did it because she wanted to. I don't think it's more complicated. I think she disagreed with what he said, and I think she went after him for that. I don't think it's anything else. I'm sure that like The thing is, every single person that makes YouTube videos posts videos that help them get into the algorithm, but you don't post videos that help you get into the algorithm that fundamentally betray what you think, unless you're a grifter, and I'm claiming that she's not a grifter. I think she just doesn't like Hassan, which is, I guess I disagree with, but like, it's neither here nor there, right? Because what I want to talk about is the thumbnail, okay? So if we could all just stop saying our opinions on this person and pretend like this is not a video about Keffels, pretend like this is a video about literally any other trans woman for a second. Because you have to understand, just because you don't like someone, it doesn't give you the pass to suddenly be a piece of shit, okay? It's like, just because you don't like someone, it doesn't mean you can suddenly start being fat phobic. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you can suddenly start being transphobic, okay? What's important is we stick to values, and we can criticize the things we don't like or do like, but would the thumbnail be transphobic if it was Blair White? Yeah, of course. Yeah. 100%. The problem is that Blair White spends all of her time making it harder for trans people to exist, right? So I care less about it. Like, Blair White literally uses her platform to tell people, hey, trans people are coming for your kids. Okay, and so let's talk about something else. A lot of people are going to say, well, this is what he does with everyone, and like, he makes these thumbnails with these like creepy, ugly caricatures of people all the time, which, by the way, I've tried to scroll and find this, and like, I haven't been able to. So like, here's the Keffels thumbnail, right? And then we have like, literally, I don't even see another thumbnail like this. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so all the people, by the way, saying, yeah, but he does it for other people. No, he doesn't. But here's the thing, right? Let's say he did. Let's say every time he made a video about another content creator, he did. Oh, let's see this. One second. Before we get into it. The artist does, just not Muta. But here's the thing, right? It's on Mutahar's channel. He can't just like say, oh, well, it's the artist who made that drawing. No, it's your channel. You have responsibility to your audience to not be, I would like to think, not be openly transphobic. And if you're posting shit like this, it's your YouTube channel. It's your fault. Like, that's simple. You can't just like be like, oh, this is artist, blah, blah. So it's a choice by him to use that photo. Yeah. And let's talk about this. Here we go. I understand people have criticism of me. I don't think I am above being critiqued. That said, was it really necessary to use a transphobic caricature of me in the thumbnail while also not using my pronouns in the video announcement? Ryan Sear, and then I don't know what happened to Ryan Beard. I'm going to be honest. Who was it that cooked him? Was it FD Signifier? Was it Gremlo? Or was it Sean? Someone cooked his ass, and it was like the 7th time or something that like Ryan was talking about Palestine, and it was saying like, you guys, these protests or something. And then Sean was like, you've talked about Palestine this many times, and the only times you've talked about it in a positive light was telling people to go vote Biden. If someone has that tweet, please link it. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Ryan Beard. He used to be cool, but then I just... this is, I think, the problem with like thinking that you matter too much. In my personal humble opinion, you just take everything a little too seriously to the point where you stop focusing on the actual issues that matter. He got internet poisoned. Yeah, it felt like back when he was just doing more YouTube videos, it was like not as bad, but I think he has redemption. I think he just needs to like take a step back from the pooter and be like, okay, I'm kind of taking this whole thing a little too seriously. Oh, Sean, here we go. This one. Yeah, Noah posted this saying, this was a long time ago. This is 2 months ago. Noah posted this saying, hey, I'm going to be joining a fundraising stream tomorrow for the aid organization UNRWA, and the stream is going to be hosted by Bad Empanada, and it starts at 12 p.m. EST. We'll run for 8 hours. I'll be joining others around 6 p.m. There's a few other creators involved. Would love to see some of you guys support there. And then Ryan Beard tweeted this, are you fucking kidding me? Bad Empanada, I try not to judge people for who they associate with, but you're really going to do a stream with that piece of human garbage? The online left is cooked. Jesus Christ. And this Sean tweet went, it deserves way more likes. In case you were wondering what Ryan has tweeted, Gaza 0 times, Israel 1 time, ceasefire 1 time, and Palestine a total of 7 times, all of which were to tell people to vote for Biden. But man, do they find the time to tweet about online leftists. And that is like the biggest, like, it just doesn't, like that, this perfectly encapsulates what I'm talking about. Like, you could be spending your time talking about the actual issues that matter, and instead you're getting mad and leftist infighting and wasting our fucking time. Very weird. He fell into the rookie hole. Classic rookie hole. And I understand people have their issues with Bad Empanada. I'm not defending Bad Empanada by any stretch of the imagination or whatever. I'm just saying I think it's a waste of our fucking time. We have better things to be doing. Moving on. Let's go back to this tweet. And then Ryan tweets this, and then this other person says, Ryan, seriously, the picture. Ryan Beard says, the drawing is definitely rude, but I wouldn't call it transphobic because this artist has drawn a ton of people in the same style. Who's the artist? I'm not familiar, to be honest. Just a Worm is his name, and it really is just a style. Here's a couple examples. Okay, so here's the thing, right? This I'm very excited to talk about. All right? This isn't a defense. So let's pretend like I have lots of friends. Okay. I've got so many friends. Okay. Just pretend. Okay. I know it's not believable. Just pretend for a second. So let's say I have lots of friends and I bring them over on stream. I bring all my friends over to all my bad bitches over to watch some Joe Rogan on stream. And whenever they're around, I make 2 jokes. Okay. For some bizarre reason, because I'm weird. I make these two same jokes, which I'm like, I'm going to eat it my cat. And then I look at my friend and I'm like, are you going to eat it him? You should eat it my cat. He wants to be eaten. And then I also have a proclivity for saying like, this is baboon behavior, baboon in a suit. This is chimpanzee behavior, right? These are the 2 jokes that I like to make. All right. Hey, guess what? Depending on the person I have over, I won't make that joke. If I call all of my friends, I'm like, you are engaging in some real tomfoolery, in some real baboonery. I can say that as many times as I want. I'm not making that joke about one of my black friends. Because now it's fucking insane. And now it's objectively just racist. I don't get to say, well, I say this about everybody. I'd say it about everybody. It's get over yourself. It's like, no, actually, you didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. All right. You can't just make the same joke at everybody because that's not how society works. You can't just do that. Things don't exist in a vacuum. Just because you draw everyone with big, long noses, it doesn't mean it's okay to do it with a Jewish person. Yeah. Or like with talking about eating my cat. Hey, maybe I shouldn't make a cat eating joke around my Asian friends. Because chances are they probably already have to deal with lots of harassment and people saying that type of shit to them. Maybe I shouldn't encourage more of that behavior. You don't get to say, I do this to everyone, so it's okay that I'm doing it to you. And so, yeah, you draw, and notice, by the way, notice how all of these are dudes. I can't tell if this one, I don't know who this one is supposed to be, so it's hard to say, but notice how all these are dudes, by the way. You can't just be like, well, I draw all men ugly, so it's okay that I drew this woman ugly. Oh, wait, this one's Sniper Wolf. I noticed. I do this to everyone. I make all of my caricatures really ugly and nasty, so it's okay for me to do it to a trans person. iDubbbz and Anissa are top left. As a large man baby once said, chat just be normal. Yeah. Yeah. You just have to understand here. You just have to understand one thing here, right? Which is, it is not a valid defense to say, well, I do this to everyone, so it's okay. Actually, it's not okay just because you do this to everyone. Sometimes certain things don't exist in a vacuum, and when you do them to particular people, it's worse. Which you would think, like, this is not a difficult concept to understand, but seemingly lots of people struggle with this concept. I mean, there are probably jokes you make around some friends that you don't make around other friends, right? Like, who in here has accidentally, raise your hands, caught, if this applies to you, who in here has made kill yourself jokes or kill myself jokes around people who don't like those jokes and then sat in the awkward silence that is them not understanding humor? And you're like, no, I made a KMS joke around my normal friends. And that's because there are certain things that work in certain environments, and there are certain things that you can do the same exact thing and they don't work in the other environments. Same thing. You can make these like really hideous, grotesque images of everyone, but when you're doing it to trans people, you have to understand you're engaging in the trope that is demonizing and dehumanizing and making trans people as like ugly as possible. And that's bad. And you know it's bad because even fucking Stone Toss retweeted this. When a literal Nazi is retweeting your shit, you should take a step back and think, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have used that thumbnail. Oh, that was probably bad. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably bad. I shouldn't have done that. And that's why I think my my metric is pretty damn good. If you're defending a position, take a look around on who else is defending the position with you, and then reevaluate. If the Nazis are in favor of this, I'm not, actually. I don't. He can still change it and he's still running with it. Well, yeah, of course. Of course he is. Making a trans woman look like a man on purpose is obviously bad. I don't know what people in Mutahar don't see this. Yeah. And it's just like the same exact bullshit or whatever. So, like I said before, it doesn't matter what your opinion is on someone. It doesn't give you the right to suddenly be bigoted or be kind of like an asshole. Like, just because you don't like someone, it doesn't mean it's okay to start calling them fat and making fun of them for it. Same thing with this. Just because you don't like someone, because you're... Keffels picks some fights online knowing she's going to get backlash. She herself has said, I don't mind if people disagree with me. You want to disagree with me? That's cool. Can we not resort to transphobia? Can we not do that? Please? Can you guys just insult me for whatever reason you want to insult me instead of this? Thanks. In the video, he also misgenders Keffels the whole runtime. Does he actually? Also, he didn't just make her ugly. He specifically gave the drawing masculine features, and it's especially weird because if Keffel doesn't pass, then who the fuck does? Yeah. No, he says she. I mean, yeah, I don't. It doesn't even look like Keffel's. I mean, like, yeah, it's just silly. It's just very silly, right? There was another tweet that I wanted to show you guys that showed, like, it's possible the tweet got deleted, but it was tons of people responding to the Mutahar tweet and saying, like, very transphobic things. Here we go. Found it. When all the worst people on the internet are cheering you on, you really should start questioning how virtuous your actions are. Keffels is a dude, a man. Why not call him a man in this post? I see no difference at all. Referencing I think this is Dead by Daylight. I didn't ever really get into this game. And I believe this character is voiced by someone who's trans. And so they're making fun of her appearance. Surprise, surprise. Now credit Kiwi Farms. Yeah, the VA passed away recently. Definitely not a fan of Keffels, but I would never pronoun purposely just because I'm angry, unless you're committing a disgusting crime. I mean, even then I wouldn't. Is that a fair position to have? Nick Fuentes defends Palestine. We wouldn't change our position just because he defends them. What do you mean? Are you saying like, oh, well, you're agreeing with Nick Fuentes on this? I mean, the thing is, even if that's true, which I honestly believe that it is true, I don't agree with his reasons. You said, look at who's defending your position. Yeah. And then there's nuance to that. Sorry, I guess I didn't add the additional caveat. Let me add it right now. Look at who's on your side, who's defending the same stuff as you. Look at the people on your opposition, and then look at the reasons why. Okay. Nick Fuentes is probably defending Palestine because he's wildly anti-Semitic. The reason why they defend the certain positions is also actually important. Apologies for not including that caveat earlier. Okay. You would also have to ask yourself genuinely if they care about Palestinians. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I mean, yeah, there's people like Jackson Tinkle, who's like a Palestine supporter, but it's because he's incredibly anti-Semitic. I just like to make fun of him. Is that okay? Is that I just like to make fun of Mr. Tinkle? Is that cool? Thanks. Also, Denim says you might want to reevaluate. She didn't say change your mind to the opposite. Yeah, that's also true. People are also so awful to Clara about her addiction too. It's actually repulsive. Hate is not the same as criticism. Yes, and that's another thing. From my understanding, Keffels was dealing with a addiction, and when did we suddenly start making fun of addicts? It's just like, listen, okay, I am all for criticism. I am all for criticizing people, especially if anything, especially when you support them. You should never be supporting someone sort of blanketly, if that's a word. But like, can we not make fun of addicts? Can we not engage in transphobia? She uses her addiction as a shield from criticism. How? Where? Since high school, always been the addiction is a choice, not a disease, people. What? You think addiction is a choice? What? Sounds like you've never met any addicts. I don't understand I don't understand this person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chatter. I'm totally lost. I'm totally confused. I'm just going to assume I misunderstood. Okay? I'm just going to assume that I misunderstood that. Anyways, all I wanted to say on this topic was decades-long addict here, never felt like a choice. I mean, if you meet one person who's addicted to nicotine, you will quickly realize these people really want to quit their addiction. Your body is actively sending you signals to continue your addiction. Your body is fighting against you actively. I'm addicted to big booty Latinas. Shit, you too? Anyways, moving on. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on that and say like, hey man, that's weird. That's objectively very weird. I've never really liked the Mutahar guy because he's such a fence sitter, and I hate fence sitters. They're just such boring people. I like someone with some fight in him, and Mutahar doesn't have any fight in him. He's just like, I just want people to like me, and it's so lame. Boring. Boo. Get a personality. And then show me where to get one, because I need one too. I can't even quit caffeine. Yeah. But maybe we don't engage in like transphobia, and maybe we don't engage in addiction. Maybe we don't engage in like making fun of addicts, making fun of trans people. Maybe. Perhaps. Perchance. Because I don't have a problem with him making the video. I don't have a problem with him making a video on the topic, okay? It just seems a little disingenuous to be doing that, right? The interesting thing is, about the, like, misgendering, I guess. It feels really weird to misgender. I guess, like, people who have been trans for over a decade, who very clearly pass that there's no one that's misunderstanding anything there, and then insisting on using he, him, because at that point you're actively trying to force yourself to do it. There was it like a panel or a podcast or a YouTube video I watched once where, like, the host was actively trying to be transphobic, and so the host would say, talking about a trans woman, he. Oh, no. I remember. It was the Jordan Peterson video. Jordan Peterson talking about Elliot Page.
And when Elliot Page went online and showed off his or her new chest, she or he got 1.7 million Instagram likes.
Ben Shapiro does it too, where they'll say she. And that's because they're looking at a photo of the trans person and their brain is assuming the correct pronouns because they are presenting as that gender, right? But then they have to change it to be transphobic. There was a Veritas guy that did it to Dylan too, kept calling her by her correct pronouns and had to make an effort to misgender her. And at that point, it's just like, this is just sad, honestly. Like, this is pathetic. That your brain automatically is getting the pronouns right because this person is presenting as this gender and you're getting it right. And then you're changing your mind midway because it's not transphobic enough for you. It's just embarrassing, okay? And Keffels is definitely one of the people in the category of, like, if you're using he, him, you're doing it totally intentionally. And you're probably fighting your brain that wants to say she, her. What is this?
Transgender woman from Orange is the New Black.
I never watched that show.
I've never watched that show either, but she's on the cover of Time magazine.
Oh.
Or he's on the cover of Time magazine.
That is exactly the behavior I'm talking about. That is the behavior I'm talking about. It's just weird. It's like, stop. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's like you're trying so hard right now and it's not working. Can we get the link, please? Yeah, of course. Of course. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about on that topic. Really just like a short little side topic I want to talk about because I don't want anyone to think that I'm even necessarily criticizing the video. The video itself is not what I'm upset about. It's the thumbnail. And I think you have a responsibility as a content creator to not engage in unnecessary hatred and not engage in unnecessary bigotry when you can help it. And I have an issue with the thumbnail, right?